Howdy there, fellas and folks. Obviously I haven't made a video in a pretty spanking long time, but yeah, I usually forget to actually make videos these days. But and also the one that I'm going to be doing today, I guess I'll be reading out of one of my favorites, because to me it kind of sounds like what's going on in the world today. And if y'all don't watch the news, you might want to start, hear a lot of interesting things that are kind of described in the Bible. But anyway, so I'm going to be reading 1 Daniel, or whatever, a chapter of Daniel, the one I'm looking for, I'll find it. But, and also I'm not recording anything but darkness right there, because I don't want your eyes to be distracted by anything in the video. So, and preferably you should be wearing headphones, so what I say will surround your hearing instead of anything else. But, also I have to make these videos while I'm home alone, because if you can't tell, I have to talk pretty loud so to hear me good. I don't have a good recording device. I can't find it. There we are, page 486. Almost there. There we are. What I want is the last chapters, the last two chapters. It's not going to be that long of a video, but it's pretty important what these last two chapters say, and that would be chapter 10 and 11. So here we go. Chapter 10, Daniel's vision of a man. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a revelation was given to Daniel, who was called Belteshazzar. Its message was true, and it concerned a great war. The understanding of the message came to him in a vision. At that time, I, Daniel, mourned for 3 weeks. I ate no choice food, no meat or wine touched my lips, and I used no lotions at all until the 3 weeks were over. Now, honestly, I don't know about y'all, but I don't use lotion. Men don't do that. Anyway, on the 24th day of the 1st month, as I was standing on the bank of the great river, the Tigris, I looked up, and there before me was a man dressed in linen, with a belt of the finest gold around his waist. His body was like chrysolite, that's how you say it. His face was like lightning. His eyes were like flaming torches, and his arms and legs were like the gleam of burnished bronze. Well, I sure wish I knew what burnished bronze looked like. And his voice was like the sound of a multitude. I, Daniel, was the only one who saw the vision. The men with me did not see it, but such terror overwhelmed them that they fled and hid themselves. So I was left alone, gazing at this great vision. I had no strength left, and my face turned deathly pale as I was helpless. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry, it's chapter 11 and 12. I just discovered the 11th chapter. Hang on, here we go. Okay, let me restart over. The kings of the south and the north. So you know what I'm talking about right now? Hopefully that hints at what you think. I don't know. Now then, I tell you the truth, 3 more kings will appear in Persia, and then a 4th, who will be far richer than all the others. When he has gained power by his wealth, he will stir up everyone against the kingdom of Greece. Then a mighty king will appear, who will rule with great power and do as he pleases. After he has appeared, his empire will be broken up and parceled out towards the 4 winds of heaven. It will not go to his descendants, nor will it have the power to be exercised, because his empire will be uprooted and given to others. The king of the south will become strong, but one of his commanders will become even stronger than he, and he will rule his own kingdom with great power. After some years, they will become allies. The daughter of the king of the south will go to the king of the north to make an alliance, but she will not retain her power, and he and his power will not last. In those days she will be handed over together with her royal escort and her father and the one who supported her. One from her family line will arise to take her place, and he will attack the forces of the king of the north and enter his fortress. He will fight against them and be victorious. He will also seize their gods, their metal images, and their valuable articles of silver and gold, and carry them off to Egypt. For some years he will leave the king of the north alone. Then the king of the north will invade the realm of the king of the south, but will retreat to his own country. His sons will prepare for war and assemble a great army, which will sweep on like an irresistible flood, and carry the battle as far as his fortress. Then the king of the south will march out in a rage against the king of the north, who will raise a large army, but it will be defeated. When the army is carried off, the king of the south will be filled with pride and will slaughter many thousands, yet he will not remain triumphant. For the king of the north will muster another army larger than the first, and after several years he will advance with a huge army fully equipped with Lord knows what. In those times many will rise against the king of the south. The violent men among your own people will rebel in fulfillment of the vision, but without success. Then the king of the north will come and build up siege ramps and will capture a fortified city. The forces of the south will be powerless to resist. Even their best troops will not have the strength to stand. There was a comma in there, I just forgot to add it. The invader will do as he pleases. No one will be able to stand against him, and he will establish himself in the beautiful land and will have the power to destroy it. He will determine to come with the might of his entire kingdom and will make an alliance with the king of the south. And he will give him a daughter in marriage in order to overthrow the kingdom, but his plans will not succeed or help him. Then he will turn his attention to the coastlands and will take many of them, but a commander will put an end to his insolence and will turn his insolence back upon him. I love it when they use strong words like insolence. After this, he will turn back toward the fortress of his own country, but will stumble and fall to be seen no more. So my guess is that on the way back home, he trips over a rock and breaks his leg, and then he crawls into the woods, trying to find a shortcut home, but he doesn't find one anyway. His successor will send out a tax collector to maintain the royal splendor. In a few years, however, he will be destroyed, yet not in anger or in battle. He will be succeeded by a contemptible person who has not yet been given the honor of royalty. He will invade the kingdom when its people feel secure, and he will seize it through intrigue. That means tempting people with something like that, or interest in something, I don't know. Then an overwhelming army will be swept away before him. Both it and a prince of the covenant will be destroyed. After coming to an agreement with him, he will act deceitfully, and with only a few people he will rise to power. When the richest provinces feel secure, he will invade them and will achieve what neither his fathers nor his forefathers did. He will distribute plunder, loot, and wealth among his followers. He will plot the overthrow of fortresses, but only for a time. With a large army, he will stir up his strength and courage against the king of the south. The king of the south will wage war with a large and very powerful army. But he will not be able to stand because of the plots devised against him. Those who eat from the king's provisions will try to destroy him. His army will be swept away, and many will fall in battle. The two kings, with their hearts bent on evil, will sit at the same table and lie to each other. But to no avail, because the end will still come at the appointed time. The king of the north will return to his own country with great wealth, but his heart will be set against the holy covenant. He will take action against it and return to his own country. Man, my voice is starting to get uncoordinated because I've never really read this much out loud except for that other video that I made. At the appointed time, he will invade the south again, and his time will. But this time, the outcome will be different from what it was before. Ships of the western coastlands will oppose him, and he will lose heart. Then he will turn back and vent his fury against the holy covenant. He will return and show favor to those who forsake the holy covenant. His armed forces will rise up to desecrate the temple fortress and will abolish the daily sacrifice. And then they will set up the abomination that causes desolation. Desolation. With flattery he will corrupt those who have violated the covenant, but the people who know their God will firmly resist him. Those who are wise will instruct many, though for a time they will fall by the sword or be burned or captured or plundered. When they fall, they will receive a little help, and many who are not sincere will join them. Some of the wise will stumble, so that they may be refined, purified, and made spotless until the time of the end, for it will still come at the appointed time. Now that is the third time it has said that, talking about it will still come at the appointed time, because often you see that in the Bible, things that are the truth or something like that is always said 3 times. And some believe that that's because Jesus rose on the 3rd day or something like that. I don't know, but I just think that I don't know why it does that. It could be because Jesus rose on the 3rd day. I don't know. But anyway, here it says, this is the next section of the chapter, the king who exalts himself. And we are nearing the end of we're nearing the 12th chapter, which is only 13 verses long. But anyway, the king will do as he pleases. He will exalt and magnify himself above every god, and will say unheard of things against the God of gods, which is God. He will be successful until the time of wrath is completed, for what has been determined must take place. And again, that's basically talking about something that I said earlier. He will show no regard for the gods of his fathers, or for the one desired by women, nor will he regard any god, but will exalt himself above them all. Instead of them he will honor a god of fortresses, a god unknown to his fathers he will honor with gold and silver, with precious stones and costly gifts. He will attack the mightiest fortresses with the help of a foreign god, and will greatly honor those who acknowledge him. He will make them rulers over many people, and will distribute the land at a price. At the time of the end, the king of the south will engage him in battle, and the king of the north will storm out against him with chariots and a cavalry of great fleet and a great fleet of ships. He will invade many countries and sweep through them like a flood. He will also invade the beautiful land. Many countries will fall, but Edom, Moab, and the leaders of Ammon will be delivered from his hand. He will extend his power over many countries. Egypt will not escape. He will gain control of the treasures of gold and silver, and all the riches of Egypt, with the Libyans and Nubians in submission. But reports from the east and the north will alarm him. It's funny, they did not capitalize the word north there. And he will set out in a great rage to destroy and annihilate many. He will pitch his royal tents between the seas at the beautiful holy mountain, yet he will come to his end, and nobody will help him. Chapter 12, titled The End Times. One of my favorite subjects. I had to take a break. Somebody's here, so I can't read at the moment. Okay, I'm back, folks. Anyway, it says, chapter 12, The End Times. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. There will be a time of distress such as has not happened from the beginning of nations until then. But at that time, your people, everyone whose name is found written in the book, will be delivered. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake, some to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, close up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge. And that, folks, is why I take pride in not being the smartest person you'll ever meet. School smarts have never served me in life, other than like counting nails. Just see how many you have left, know what you can do with them. Anyway, then I, Daniel, looked, and there before me stood 2 others, the one on this bank of the river and the other on the opposite bank. One of them said to the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, "How long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled?" The man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, lifted his right hand and his left hand towards heaven. And I heard him swear by him who lives forever, saying, "It will be for a time, times and half a time, however long that is, when the power of the holy people has been finally broken, all these things will be completed." I heard, but I did not understand, so I asked my Lord, "What will the outcome of all of this be?" He replied, "Go your way, Daniel, because the words are closed up and sealed until the time of the end. Many will be purified, made spotless and refined, but the wicked will continue to be wicked. None of the wicked will understand, but those who are wise will understand. From the time that the daily sacrifice is abolished and the abomination that causes desolation, is set up, there will be 1,290 days. Blessed is the one who waits for and reaches the end of the 1,335 days. As for you, go your way until the end. You will rest, and then at the end of the days you will rise to receive your allotted inheritance. That, folks, is some of my I was sitting right there in that chair right in front of my TV that was playing this, but I muted it for the video. But anyway, so everybody, I hope that you really got something out of what I was reading there, because if I thought that nobody would get anything out of it, I wouldn't do it. So, but yeah, if you know me in real life and you see me, say, theater or something like that, you can ask me any questions. I can tell you a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, yeah, my family, except for my daddy, my family usually scoffs at me saying, that's happened before. But anyway, here, I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. Anyway, yeah, also, if y'all see me in real life, next time you see me, ask me to tell you an interesting story, because I can tell you the most interesting story. It happened way earlier this year, back in April or something. Yeah, back in April. So basically, this last April is when, this last April here, 2018, is when I rediscovered Jesus Christ. It is the best time of my life. But anyway, please ask me to tell you an interesting story. I will. And if I forget, and if I ask you, what are you talking about? Just remind me and I'll know, because I might forget. But anyway, so yeah, guys, God bless y'all. I love y'all. I hope that y'all were able to understand what I was reading as good as I did. But of course, I still have many questions and some non-understanding of what I was reading. But I just hope y'all could understand it good enough to for it to kind of hint at what it's kind of talking about, you know. But anyway, you have to forgive the times I stuttered a little bit. I do stutter sometimes. That came from when I was younger. I would spend all day long playing a Wii, and playing games too long makes you stutter. And if you haven't noticed, I stutter a lot. The effect of my younger years still has not paid off, or still has not gone away, sadly. But anyway, like I said, God bless y'all. Y'all don't ever hesitate to ask me for help, spiritually or physically. You know, I can do both. Because, you know, y'all know my personality. Y'all know I like to talk. And so I won't mind helping you. But anyway, just don't ever be scared to ask me for help. I'm not going to judge you. Because Jesus doesn't judge you. Well, he will. On Judgment Day, of course. But yeah, I'm not going to ridicule you, unlike some people that I know of. But anyway, because, you know, Jesus loved everybody, so why should I not? You know, Jesus helped everybody, so why should I not? So anyway, see you guys later. Bye. God bless y'all.